Hey, today we see VMware. Before I go to VMware, there are various other vendors who provide virtual solutions like IBM, Oracle, VMware itself. I personally like VMware because it's pretty much easier when compared to the other applications. VMware itself is not free. uh, VMware comes with a flavor called VM Player, which is free from the VMware. For the rest of the all applications, you just need to pay for the licensing keys. So let's see how you're supposed to download the VMware. Open a browser, go to vmware.com, products, and here comes the player. Then download. Now when you download, it gives you the option to which flavor you want, whether you want a 64-bit operating system or 32-bit operating system. Remember, this is the operating system what you have on your current PC. It's not the virtual machine operating system. So based on your PC operating system, you just download the virtual player. uh, okay. Once Before I go to the next thing, you have to check whether mm, you have to check whether your PCs are compatible with 32-bit and 64-bit operating systems. Meaning, your virtual machine should run 62-bit and 64-bit OSs at the same time. Most of the PCs which you bought recently, they do have 64-bit compatibility, meaning you can run multiple 64-bit OSs at the same time from the virtual machine. Uh, but if you have older versions of PCs like before Intel 5 processor, all has to those PCs won't check 64-bit operating system. But I personally suggest you check your manufacturing manual before you take a call. Uh, if for some reason, if you're not sure whether your motherboard supports virtual 64-bit OS processing, VMware itself provides a tool. Using that tool, you can check the compatibility. uh, where can you find that tool is go to support and download. Click on downloads, and you can see 64-bit compatibility. I click on that and I'll search, and the first thing what I see is the compatibility software. Okay, this is how it is. I mean, you can download this to check whether uh, your processor supports 64-bit operating system or not. At the same time, most of the manufacturers, if for some reason if you have a operating system which is OEM operating system, meaning manufacturer warranted operating system, then most of the time 64-bit virtualization is disabled from the BIOS. So check your manufacturer manual again to enable them from the BIOS. Uh, However, once you install the virtual machine, it just pops up like this. I already installed this, so that's why you see the couple of old flavors of my virtual machines which I already configured. And okay, when you open your VM player, it pops you up the software upgrade option. If you don't want it, you just ignore it. Basically, it asks you for the upgrade to the VMware workstation, which is not free, so I ignored it. Then click on players, files. Then you have a couple of options. New virtual machine. If you are trying to install a new virtual machine, yeah, you have to select the new virtual machine. If you already have a virtual machine, if you want to upload it into the VM player, then you can click on open and upload it here. You have a download virtual appliances. Virtual appliances is nothing but pre-configured virtual machines available on internet. You can download them through this link. Player preferences are basically the outlook of VMware, what you supposed to want to do with the VM player. I mean, how you basically wants to have a look and feel of your VMware. So basically, usually I prefer keeping them default as it is. Okay, let's click on the new virtual machine. So when you click on the new virtual machine, you have an option to create a virtual machine from your desk or an ISO image. ISO image you basically can download it from the internet. Since Linux is free, Fedora flavor Linux is free, I downloaded a couple of Fedora flavors, which is 64-bit and 32-bit ISO files. Or if you simply just want to have a configuration done for the virtual machine and you want to install the operating system later, you can have that option as well. I just select this Fedora flavor for this training, then click next. I mean, based on the ISO, it selects itself the operating system, and you have an option to select the version of the OS you are trying to configure. Then click on next. Give the name of your virtual machine. I just go with 19 bits, 19, let's say 64-bit. Okay, and where you want to store this virtual machine. I usually prefer to store them in the USB drives, just to make sure that my hard drive is not get crashed just to do, having these configurations done. So click on next. So here the another important point you have to check is you have an option to give the size of the virtual machine. Basically this is not the maximum size. I mean the virtual machine will not use your 20 GB from your hard drive at the same time when you configure this operating system, when you configure this virtual machine. Rather it is your maximum limit of your operating system. Okay, it will ask you whether you want to keep this virtual machine in a one file or a multiple file. Usually it is advisable to use store this file in a single file. If you have more than 90 GB of hard drive for some reason, then I would suggest you go with the splitting the virtual file. Okay, then click next. You are almost done with this. Click on customize hardware to give more RAM to your virtual machine. You have an options to select your RAM. You can even increase the processors. You can see that it's already mounted your CD-ROM, floppy drive, network, USB cables, hard drive, printers, and your displays. Remember, another most important point is most of the time when you trying to install the operating systems, most of the operating systems do not support accelerated 3D graphics. So while installing, just make sure that if for some reason if it doesn't work, then you just disable this accelerated 3D graphics. This is pretty much. Then click finish. It will take you to the operating system. Then it will, you see this is the one you just now configured. Once you're configured, click on play virtual machine. It will take you to the next level of installing and configuring your operating system. So this is I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to add comments. Thank you.